It's finale night for Project Runway All Stars Season 6, and we're breaking down the looks for you guys one last time. We've got a full panel in the house, so sit tight.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Finale night.
Finale.
Let's say it again. Finale night.
Finale night.
Oh my God. It's been a long road here, but we finally got down to the final episode number 13, Project Runway Season 6, entitled Making Fashion History.
Yes.
Pretty cool panel tonight. Got everyone here.
Got the crew.
I know. Really exciting.
This is all we need.
Well, Michelle.
Yeah.
How's your week going?
Good.
Good. What about you, Dan?
My week's going good because I've been so depressed because the last 2 weeks I have been MIA working so hard for the dollar, so it feels so good to be back home.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you, Mayte? You having a good week?
Yeah, I'm having a good week. And I'm glad to end it today because I don't have work tomorrow.
Oh,
So-
nice. So you're going to be having a margarita tonight with us.
Yes, I'm sure. Maybe 1 or 2. 3, 4. I don't know.
Well, I'm Michael Shirley. We got Michelle Uberreste, Dan Babic, and Mayte Carrillo on the panel tonight, our OG panel. And it was so cool to see that the designers got an extra little helping hand this week, because I wasn't really sure how they were going to do it. We got to see that Stanley got Amanda, Fabio got Helen, and Anthony got Candace. Did you guys have any, like, initial thoughts when you saw those pairings? Like, oh, this is not, yeah. What about you? What do you think?
When I saw Anthony and Candace, I was like, okay, I can see this work. But then, as I was mentioning to you guys, Candace was throwing a little bit of shade and complaining to others about certain things that Anthony was doing. And that's where I was like, wait a minute, whose team are you on? Like, are you against Anthony or are you for him? Like, she was the only one complaining. Everybody else was literally working.
They're like so happy.
I
They're
think
like,
she
"This
was
is
just
great."
frustrated though because she's like trying to help him and he's so slow and he's like, she's like trying to tell him like you have to
that's
do
his
this and this and this.
collection.
Yeah, but like she also wants him to get finished.
Well, you guys
That's
know
not the
what
vibe I
I
got.
think. I think because she got cut, she knew this was her last time for camera time.
yeah, that
And
too.
she was
Absolutely.
milking it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think Candace has got a bit of an energy about her because when Candace walks in, I look into the room. Do you know what I mean?
You want to
Yeah.
be her new bestie.
She's a star. And I was like, a lot of the time with
Oh,
designers...
she's talented.
She is.
For sure.
No,
yeah.
but not, like even like personality-wise, because a lot of the time the designers are a bit more like Stanley, a bit more conservative and not so out there. They're not the star. They want to be more behind the scenes and create the, you know.
Yeah.
But she's
sure.
the one that's like, she needs her own reality show. I want to drink with her.
I don't know if I go quite that far.
I think she's got the light. So, bing, bing, bing. We need to watch out for her.
Candace Takes Oakland, like
Yes.
exciting show. When I first saw Stanley's the color choices, I loved them. Like
Really?
just really, really loved them. They were like these nice tones that you could see Americans buying. Like I found the colors to be very like safe, very flattering.
Very drab.
Maybe. I think it did. Well, I don't want to say it saved him, but I thought it did work to his benefit that he put that peachy reddish color in.
Yeah, for
'cause
sure.
You did really get this great Americana vibe from him, and I think that really kind of set that off. But I was really hating Anthony's colors. Like it was all just so cheap. It was like bright purple and blue and green and black. It's just like very like.
I don't think it was necessarily the colors, but I did not like that print.
I liked that. I think we're going to disagree. I
We're gonna
love that
fight
print.
about this all
I
show.
know.
Yes, and
I was
I
like-
loved it. Yeah.
Well,
I think that's what
prints
prints are though. You love them or you hate them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is
Yeah.
like even Georgina, who I love, she hated it, but then Isaac loved it.
Yep.
But I was interested by that because I kind of thought it had a Beyonce vibe, the print, but it just wasn't executed well, and I wasn't a fan of the collection, but I actually saw something in that print. Yeah.
I was saying it was kind of like a space camo.
It definitely
type
kind of looked
weird
like a
thing.
weird 80s camouflage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could have just used that print on the last look, and that would have been kind of like a statement, as opposed to using it as well on the jumpsuit.
Yeah. I don't know.
He won though, so it obviously whatever he did worked. Yeah, he was the winner.
Anthony won,
Yeah.
so it's really kind of hard to talk that way about some aspects of the collection because I don't think any of us thought that he was going to win. Did
No,
we?
I
No,
definitely
I
thought he was
didn't.
coming in third. Yeah.
They didn't place them. They just said the winner.
They just said
No,
the
they
winner.
didn't this time, but they usually do. And I thought he was definitely like out of the running.
Okay. I never thought in a million years he was going to win.
I thought he was gonna win, but then I feel like this episode really changed my mind because I saw the progression of Stanley and how much he has evolved from
Yes.
from like past seasons.
Yeah, it's
And then all of a
incredible. Leaps
sudden-
and bounds.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like you see this progression, just he keeps on getting better and better, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy is so talented. Like I want to see more. So
Right.
I had my high hopes up for Stanley this episode, and I really wanted him to win, at least get like second place, like some money, something, and they didn't.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a fan of anyone's collection, to be honest.
Oh.
And I just think, 5 days, you just can't do it. I get the vision, and I just think in 5 days, I don't even think if they look like they're happy for them. They're happy that they did that in 5 days. But I think if they really
Now they might not even
But
like those
I think if they look back, they're like, wow, if they had more time, and if they really could, even spend a month working on it, then they would be a different kind of game. But I did think Fabio. I felt like he had it, to be honest, because I just felt he was the most innovative, he was the most unique, and there was one outfit that we all agreed on that he had that was just nailed it, and I thought I'm like that spoke to me, and I'm like that's what he was trying to do. So yeah, I was surprised with the winner, but they were all on a similar level. But I did think Stanley played it too safe, and I just thought Anthony's was a bit messy with the execution, but I love the idea, so I would have given it to Fabio, but I was wrong, obviously, because the judges chose Anthony.
Yeah.
I was never really a huge fan of Fabio, but going into this, I liked Stanley's colors. I didn't like Anthony's colors. Fabio, I was just kind of excited to see what he did. And might have let me down a little bit, but it was an interesting show.
What did you think about that yellow print that he used? Because I feel like that was a little bit different. It stood out a lot in his collection.
You mean like the solid
solid yellow.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did. So let's just get into the specifics of the episode. The designers got actually a surprise little trip to Mood with 30 minutes and $250.
Thank God.
I know. They're probably like, oh no. Yeah, because they had only been given enough or bought enough fabrics for 6 looks, and they realized they had to have 7. And we'll save this for Fabio. So the helpers helped them for, 3 days? 3 days. And everyone, by the time the last day of the runway and when all the helpers left, like everyone was virtually finished except for Anthony. And I wasn't sure if it was like them hamming that up because he was going to win or if it was like he was really not going to finish. Like I was worried for him.
Or both.
We didn't get a sneak peek either of a lot of his looks.
You
if
didn't?
You noticed, yeah.
I did. We got to see that huge shot of Fabio's looks. And we were all like, whoa. And you were like trying to pull out a camera.
Yeah.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I have to get this. Sorry, Olga on our live chat says Fabio's was frumpy. Just because it hasn't been done doesn't mean it should be done.
Ooh, I like that, Olga. Yeah,
Shame.
shame. Well, let's start breaking down the collections. Like, start with Stanley, should we?
Yes.
And go through it. Yeah, let's really get to the nitty gritty.
We had guest judges tonight, returning with Zach Posen.
My favorite.
And we got Catherine Zeta-Jones, which she brought a little fresh air to the runway tonight, didn't she?
Yeah, I actually
enjoyed
loved
having
her.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, she was really fun.
Very classy.
I think
I didn't mind her.
maybe she should be the new Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about
Putting it out
Alyssa?
there. You love to talk about Alyssa. Yeah, before we get into it, what did you think about that?
I just love
that
talking about
little
it.
look. She had that green pyramid stud thing to present the runway.
No comment.
Beauty.
Oh, I thought you wanted to talk about it. All right.
No, it's just funny because a lot of people in our live chat always have something to
I
say
know.
about Alyssa's look.
Yeah.
But they haven't said anything. So if you guys are in our live chat, join in, chime in, and let us know what you guys think of Alyssa's look.
When it comes to Anthony's collections, I've got some Alyssa thoughts. But first collection we've got up is Stanley's, and it's like a total Americana vibe to it. When we went through the looks, I really loved the first one. I really loved the second one. This third one, I was just kind of like, why is it happening? Like,
Was that the red dress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, Isaac Mizrahi
But it's like
liked
just
it a
the
lot,
most boring
too.
dress I've ever seen in my life.
It is, but that's
It's just
yes.
it's classy.
But it's a design competition and there's no design.
I love
Ooh,
that skirt.
I love that sass in it. No, I thought that was like, but see, it was the only thing I liked, and yes, like it was the only thing, I don't know where there's something regal about his designs. And that was the only thing that screamed regal to me, as well as the white coat with the belt studs. And I think I actually really liked the idea of the white coat with the belt studs. And I just think if he had more time and had different materials, that could be an absolute standout piece.
Yeah.
But I did like the simplicity of, just the red dress. The first lady was very Michelle Obama. But I thought that should be the worst of his collection, not the best.
Right.
Yes, so I actually liked it, but I thought that should be the one that doesn't stand, the least favorite.
It did
But it's
very
not-
much have like a first lady, British princess kind of vibe to the collection. And for me, I had 3 looks in this collection I just loved. I loved the first 2 and I loved the last one. So that was kind of how I gauged tonight what like pieces I just really loved. And he had the most pieces that I loved. He had 3 I liked. Whereas the others did have less in my book. But Mayte, what was your favorite look for this collection?
I'd have to agree with you. I feel like there's just certain pieces that I could pick up from this. I do like the first look, and I love the fact that he started with this look because it did make a statement.
It did. It went good with the last piece because
And
it
the
kind of mirrored it,
Yeah.
the colors.
And now, is that collar, is that detachable? Because it looked a little bit off in the runway.
Yeah. We were talking about that when we had seen that 7th look last week, how the collar looked like it was on it, but tonight it was just kind of like hanging around her neck like a
Yes, I
necklace.
agree.
And we did not like that
No.
at all.
I agree with Zach Posen when he said it looked costume-like, the last look.
That veil's kind of
Yeah.
bad.
The veil is for
It's
sure.
It's like
yeah.
too much. Because it's like...
Especially compared to he started with that piece. That was kind of like his inspiration piece, I think, for the rest of. So, but it didn't carry through the veil vibe,
I
They
might
should've
have
just ditched a veil.
stuck that. Is that a black dress, the 5th look? The one I wrote meh?
I think it's black and blue.
I think it's,
Or
yeah,
navy.
it's navy.
Yeah, I would have either just ditched that little veil fascinator thing.
I'm
or
disappointed.
put it
I am
on something
disappointed.
else.
Yeah, to be honest, because I really believed in him, and I still do believe in him. And I thought from day one he's been my favourite. And I think that first piece, that jacket, shows us something that I think that shows of what he can do and what he could create. But I just think it falls a little flat. And I think it's a bit bland, and I just think it's not true to what he can really do.
Well, we saw that he had added some black. What would you call like a black under the 7th dress? The look from last
I
week.
Yeah,
didn't
it was
even
there
notice
last
that.
week. Yeah.
There was black under there last
No,
week.
there wasn't.
Yeah, there was. The
I
judges
thought it
mentioned
was
it,
just
too.
all white.
Oh, I thought it was
Huh.
all white too.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't change his look very much, where some of the designers did, like Fabio, who we're coming up on now. He completely changed his final look and got rid of that bird pattern and put in the yellow, which he had
He got rid of the
required
top, yeah.
a mood. But I actually kind of wished that Fabio had done the pattern that had the bird on it instead of the yellow for
Same.
that.
I like the birds.
I didn't mind the bird,
But
yeah.
I like the yellow a lot, too.
Yeah, I liked it better than the yellow. It was just kind of weird for me. I did have one look in in Fabio's collection that I really did like. It was the 3rd look, which we'll get to in a little bit.
We all had that. That was where we all came
Yeah.
together, and
Yeah.
we said that is the look, and it was funny because I think all the judges agreed with that as well.
Yeah.
And I think even when Stanley
That's
asked,
the look right there.
that
We
was the
all
one.
agreed
Yeah.
on this one for sure.
We were like, what?
It's
I
like-
love that look
yeah.
too.
I like that one as well. Yeah.
And I like the coat on this one, the white one.
That was so weird. It was
skirt.
like
Oh, that skirt.
aliens.
That's weird.
Yes.
like alien udders. Like, it was so weird that the
It's
5th
the back
look.
of the skirt, is Michelle. Not the skirt, the coat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so
the back.
hard keeping up with all of these.
Yeah.
Oh
It
my
is.
God.
Well, my favorite, when I actually saw I almost look like, I feel like my Judger collection, I know it's wrong, I almost look at it, I think because my mum was a buyer, so I learned everything I know about fashion from my mum, so I look at the collection collection from a buyer's standpoint.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that skirt run down the runway, I'm like, I'm buying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And-
skirt was
yeah.
really cool, and we really don't see stuff like that. It was kind of
Yes.
like
I haven't seen it
overlaid like
before,
a
yeah.
cheerleader skirt and pin tucked. But
And then
not.
Tinkerbell, like the Tinkerbell vibe, I'd say with the bottom, the edging. I really, as a buyer, I was like, I haven't seen that before, and I want that in my store.
It's so beautifully done.
But it's also easy to wear. At the same
Here
time.
we've got
Yes.
up his entire collection, and as you can see, that yellow outfit in the middle, we all just love that. The judges loved that. The sleeves were cool. The colors were cool. It looked like today. It looked like the future. It looked like the past, which I think he was kind
That's
of
what he was going for.
wanting it to look like it's all happening at the same time, which is kind of hard for the mind to grasp. But that was the only one I really, really liked. I thought the fourth one, that jumpsuit that you like mine too, was like interesting.
I like that.
I like that jumpsuit.
And
it was
I
very
did
different.
think, actually, I don't know, that I want to kind of like the sixth look that is like the black and the white, but
I just want that
don't
skirt. I think that
know.
skirt's got it. It's got the X factor.
I don't know if I'm fully loving that first look skirt though. Like every time I see it,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I hate it.
I hate it too,
Hate
but
it.
to me, it's like if you're gonna show a runway collection, I want to see like it's like art laid before me. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see necessarily something that I'm gonna buy.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but like
yeah.
to me, it's more like about the presentation. Like you go to a gourmet restaurant, you want to see your plate with the little, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah.
it's like, to me, this was the fulfillment of that. It was
Yes.
artistic, and it's like none of these are particularly attractive as clothing to me. Like most of them are not, but there's something so creative that draws you in about it. You know what I mean?
He put on a show, and that's even
Yeah.
with his I don't know what instrument that is, but he had his grandpa's
Accordion.
accordion,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, like I was really fascinated into the story.
Yeah.
So like it was different, and
It was a show,
It was a
yeah.
show. Whereas the other ones,
Kooky.
it wasn't a show. And I even thought like the second outfit, the top, I actually didn't mind, but it almost reminded me of like Dior meets Carnivella, like
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that was the thing I wanted to touch on from earlier about Fabio's collection. I love these like thick, like scribble stripes that he's got going on, and he had another fabric that was virtually like the same thing but tiny little pinstripes. And I just love like abstract stripes, and I really hated that he took that out of his collection because I think it would have paired so well with the thick stripe, even together in an outfit.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I just don't know why he pulled that fabric. And the bird one too. You could have had
Yeah.
something fun on a jacket. That jacket, it could have had a really cool
I
bird
liked
jacket.
the bird print too.
I don't know. It's just
And I think-
something for me went wrong.
I think what Georgina said too, that you could take a lot of these pieces and pair them more like street.
Normal stuff, yeah.
And I
Yes.
could totally see that, like the little jacket with the shoulders, the striped one, like you could wear that with jeans, skinny jeans.
Yeah,
or
I could
something.
see the
Or the
first-
first
the
top.
First
Like
top
I
with
love that
jeans,
top.
Yeah, like high waist.
yes.
jeans.
The
It's
first top-
just all together. It looks like such a like.
It makes
It's
it look kind
noise.
of
A mess.
crafty.
Yeah.
Is
It's
there
very
like this
noisy.
crafty vibe
Yeah.
to it?
Yeah, like a dip.
to you
That's what I
guys?
keep. My mind keeps going.
You know what, too? It's like he's very artistic, so I feel like he needs someone to help him lay it all out because
Right.
he can
Yeah.
provide the foundation, but then
He
have
needs someone to edit him,
To
for
edit,
sure.
yeah. And then could you imagine how much more beautiful?
Amanda would have been a better partner for him rather than stupid. Oh no, you hate it. What's her name?
No, I think Helen did a good
Helen.
job.
No, because Helen's.
I think Helen did.
Because Helen's like, yeah, crazy, woo! But I feel like Amanda's was a bit more refined. Like I felt
Oh,
like she would have
Helen.
been better for him. Like Amanda would have been. She's much more vogue,
Maybe.
more clean cut.
She seemed like she liked working
She,
with Stanley.
yeah,
though.
she helped him a lot.
I think the thing for me mostly was, I mean, I do not care that the third one's like frumpy because it's just so cool. But that first skirt, it just kind of sets this uncomfortable, awkward, like ill-fitting tone for me.
Yeah.
That it's like, am I not cool enough to get this? Like you know, like
Questioning yourself.
yeah. It's.
But the
It's
top is so
I
cool.
get what he
yeah,
was doing,
Yeah.
but I want to get all that and it still look good on their bodies.
Yeah.
Max, sorry.
Go ahead.
Max on our live chat says, did not like Fabio's collection, but it was better than I expected. And at least it was better than Brandon Key's from the last season. And then Olga says, the shoes were nice on their own, but they just highlighted the frumpiness of the silhouettes.
Oh, those elastic, those little elastic things he was
Orthopedic shoes.
putting on the
Yeah.
shoes.
And
yeah,
then-
that
I like
was
them.
weird.
Taryn said, I love raw edges, but the collection was too clean for that.
Yeah.
And see, the frumpiness is what I was gonna say is the way that he pairs things is like a frumpy top with a frumpy pant underneath with a frumpy skirt on top or something.
He needs like a
And you
style.
gotta
like
be
too
super
much.
stick thin.
You know, like just make a
hard.
nice fitting pant to go with some of these tops or
Most
whatever.
people that will look well in these outfits wouldn't want to buy them.
Right.
Yeah.
All right then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess we're just gonna move on to
the
the
winner.
winning collection. Yay! So as Dan let you guys know earlier, Anthony took home the cake tonight. His look,
cake. Inspired by
his
Rihanna.
collection was Audrey Hepburn lived long enough to be Rihanna.
Love that concept.
Free.
Huh.
I love that concept, but I think it was
It's like-
neither one.
Yeah, I agree with you
It's like-
totally. Yeah. Love the idea. Yeah.
It's like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I wanna
and
be
you're
Rihanna.
like, I want to be Audrey Hepburn is Rihanna. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like very like childlike.
No, that's cool. I like it.
But that's Anthony. He has a childlike imagination.
No,
Right?
but it was like Audrey Hepburn lived long enough to become Rihanna. So the thing I got was a progression. It was like a change. It was like from
Right.
Audrey Hepburn, I
She
became
like moves
Rihanna.
to Barbados, gets a tan, comes
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know what? He's very, very smart because he used a business tactic, which
Yes.
he enticed them to believe that everything that was put out into the collection, it's marketable. He's talking about Rihanna. He's talking about, Audrey
Well, they
Hepburn.
did
It's from one
say
generation to
that
another.
his collection was the most currently wearable.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I see Rihanna in that, and look, and I'm
Right.
like, but you never.
They
would
wouldn't have seen it
her
if he
in
hadn't said that. Yeah.
Yeah, he has
Yes.
a way with words. Good for you.
And use his personality as well, because I think that's what Zach Posen said at the end when they were deliberating. You want to buy it because it's his personality. Like you feel like when you put on an outfit by him that you're gonna feel all the things that Anthony is. He's like fun and
Right.
fresh and current and cool
Confident.
and funny and he's part of the brand. He's and I was like, oh, from a branding perspective, whereas someone like Stanley is more reserved. You're not buying into the personality.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy some of
buying
his
for the
things
craft.
because it's Anthony.
Yeah.
Because his personality's in it.
Well, since this is the winning collection, let's look at a little details on all of the outfits. First up, we have, I call it the garbage dress, which is a nice word for what I called it earlier. Or what I call it?
The Monica Lewinsky dress.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, and I,
On steroids.
when I
With
first-
spermarella. Yeah.
when I first saw it, I was like, I really don't like it. But then after the whole collection went around and they all came back together, I was like, well, I like it better than most of this. It just got this garbage vibe to it that I don't know. I think it's just like in the right mood you're in. Is it cool or is it not?
No.
Well, I think he did this dress 2 other times this season, with the paint in the
Yeah.
midsection. And he did it 2 times better than this one. So
Yes.
the other ones were looking like they were shaping the body and it was like intentional. And this
She's
just,
a little heavy up in this like
yeah, it just doesn't.
rib area.
I'm not even
It
looking
looks
at
really
that.
big.
I'm just looking at the I don't know. I'm just trying to think from a rational standpoint. But it looks like someone just did massive jizz all over the dress. I'm just looking. I'm thinking spermarella. Like I can't look at anything else because I'm like, oh my god, it's like
Yeah.
that's oh my god, like, it's like what the heck? Someone just jacked off on your dress. And what? Like how? I can't even move past it. How doesn't everyone else not see that?
I don't
It's the
mind.
color. It's the color.
Yeah, I don't mind that whole print and the paint.
I don't think that's a print, but whatever.
Not the print, but like the whole paint splatter.
Okay.
It's just the shape of this is not.
No,
like
look
the-
at that white. Look at that
Maybe
white.
we
Like
don't want him
the
to use
sperm.
white anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our big problem.
It's like a throwback to that glue dress.
Yes,
yeah.
There should be a collection called
yeah.
Spermarella. Like.
Next up, we have got a very, very Toni Braxton family values
Yeah.
look.
Family values look.
What are y'all's
Break
thoughts
my
on
heart.
Yes.
this? You just say yes. That's
Yes.
it.
Keep going.
Was this the one that he was wanting to put those ostrich feathers in?
Yes.
I think
this
it
was
was.
but then he thought it was gonna be too much, which we didn't see any of those feathers on any of his gowns, did we?
No, I think he did the paint instead of the feathers. He
Oh,
makes the
I
feathers.
I don't
should've
think
stuck
we
with the
liked
feathers.
this skirt, right? But they liked the skirt. Zach Posen said that Rihanna would wear that
I don't
because
He
mind
liked how
it.
trashy it was. I was like, okay, whatever.
it is
the
very
fact that you can see her bra.
slinky.
I think
Yeah.
the shape of the top is interesting, though. It's it's cool and
I agree with you there.
It's
It works
totally
with-
nude though.
right. And I think the fabric is trashy too. So you have a trashy fabric on the top and trashy fabric on the bottom.
And this was the winner.
Yeah,
Well, let's look at the next look. The next look used that same fabric, but I think it looks
much
great.
better.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is a total knockoff of Ken's look that he got sent home for. Those white
Not
pants
total.
I know.
I think it's
With the
better.
sash
This is way better than
and
Ken's
the
look.
bustier.
No,
It is better. It is
had the
better.
little,
Yeah,
like-
it's better, but
Miss America sash.
Yeah,
You know?
I had
The-
a little bit more going on.
the pants look like the exact pants, except it's like stitched on the pleat instead
But
of
those
not.
pants, it's not like those. It's not original. Those pants, like many people have done
No.
those pants before,
They're
and I
just
love
pants.
them. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just pants. Yeah, and I love the
It's
structure
very
of them. And,
ethereal, that like satiny, like.
It's
I
very
don't know.
pretty.
I
I thought
love
the top
those
looked
pants.
kind of like a maternity.
yes.
Okay, I'm not
a little
alone.
bit, yeah.
Yes,
They
Little
were
bit.
like, this is so
I didn't
divine. And I'm
think-
like, yeah, for maternity top.
This
Great.
is one of the
Yeah.
looks. I love two looks from him, and I loved this look. The next look, I wrote down interesting because I just was
it
not.
Reminds me of Kintaro.
I love this
Right?
look.
The
so
more I looked at it,
beautiful.
I started liking it, and like that weird.
It
Cut
was,
out,
I think
like-
it was leather.
I think so.
Yeah,
it was
but
so beautiful.
It took me a second to realize what I was looking at. But that asymmetrical like leather apron thing was really kind of like,
Awesome.
cool,
It was
yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
This was my
You don't
favorite
seem like you
look.
like it.
Do you know what? It was like when I look at it from a. It's funny if I squint and look at it, love. But the more I look into the details, it actually starts to look a bit messy when I start to really analyze it. But if I saw it from a distance, I would say wow. But I like the aesthetic of the whole pixie cut. I like the overall vision. Do you know what I mean, with the pixie cut and the way it's kind of styled. But from now looking at it from a distance, I'm like I love it. But as you look closer, it does look like it looks messy. It looks very trashy. But from a distance, I think wow. But when you analyze it a little further, I'm just like it just doesn't make sense if you actually look at all the black on the bottom and the way that it's been
You
structured.
trying to make sense out of Anthony?
Yeah.
All right.
I totally see Anthony in this. Like we've seen a couple of dresses from him this season where he kind of has the twisty, asymmetrical, like organic look, and I would definitely know this as Anthony's.
It's like a mini gown.
and then the straps. Too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I would think it could be Fabio's.
No, I would.
I mean, more so Kentaro from
Right,
probably from
Yeah,
the
It was
16,
just
but-
like-
it's
yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
the structure of
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
But the more I looked at it, and as it walked past the runway, and it was just zoomed in, it was like all these little different elements that I couldn't appreciate
Mm-hmm.
before. So
I did think it was very interesting, and it kind of grew on me. Next up, we have, oh God, a super boring look. I knew Alyssa would say this was her favorite thing that came down the runway, and she did.
you don't like a little black dress?
I forgot about this one. Yeah.
With that, like 2003, like one shoulder.
What? I would wear this like
strap.
every day.
Me too.
Is
I'd
that
wear
is
this.
this back in this shoulder
It's
strap, the
pretty-
one shoulder?
Yeah, he could bring
I
it
didn't
back
know that
in.
was in.
Yeah.
That back, I think, was a killer for me. Oh, it's so good.
And he was
It
so
was
afraid. He was
okay.
like, I don't know if they're gonna get it, but I'm doing it.
I love the
didn't
back.
I didn't get it.
I got the
I
back.
did.
I got the back. I like the back.
did. I didn't get it. It was like, for me, this is like that pinkish dress that Stanley did. It was like, oh, I'm running out.
But I
of
But
forgot
you
about
liked
it.
the pink dress.
I like that he added that color,
Oh.
but I didn't like that was
simple,
what
yeah.
he did with it.
No, but it was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was, less is more sometimes.
Well, let's move
so
up
pretty.
to another look I think we all kind of liked a little bit.
What?
Wait, no. Is there another one? We might be missing that other one.
No, these are
Oh wait, no,
all
yeah.
order.
Yeah, this look, maybe I just numbered them wrong and thought I liked it, but yeah, let's go back one more look. Yeah. No, I don't like this at all.
No.
I don't know. I think I mixed up 5 and 6. But yeah, this was just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't like that print. So it's just,
I don't like the print. I don't like the shape. I don't like anything about it.
I like that he finished the show with this dress because I feel like this was a statement piece to end it. But
well,
I feel like
this is
the
right
jumpsuit.
before the
Oh
last
no!
dress, yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking about the last look. The jumpsuit. No, didn't really care for it.
I'm in agreement with everything you guys just said. I don't have anything more to add. But the only thing that I actually liked is it was like, because I knew he had a dress coming, that this kind of paid homage to the one that was coming. So I was
Yeah.
kind of like, even though I don't like this, I'm like, I know
It's
the
like
grand
warming you
finale
up,
is
yeah.
warming me up. So I like the story behind it.
I
So
think
you let
it
it
was.
go.
Sorry?
You let it go then. You're like, oh.
I let it go because I'm like, I know the grand resistance. And then, yeah.
I think he was smart putting this like before the last piece to kind of like prep you and
Yeah.
to
I didn't
make
think
you
about
like
that.
the last piece even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's look into the last piece. It's a really cool cut, really stunning, you know, train on it. But a lot of us, including Michelle and Georgina and I, we could not get past that print.
I love the print. Love the print.
It's better from far away because it just looks like blue texture or something, but up close I would never be like, yeah, this is an expensive dress.
Kind of muddled.
I love the print.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
I love
Really?
the print. I thought it was very. That's the other thing I really liked is I thought we could do. I think it needed to take a very specific design, and you needed to be very thoughtful with how you designed with this print. And I think that he almost bit off more than he could chew because the print is so interesting and intricate. You really need a designer for the print. And I can just see something in the print. I can see something that I've never seen before and something amazing. But he didn't have enough time or didn't know how to use the print to his full advantage.
Actually, I think when we saw his whatever preview look, it was basically this dress in that blue velvet neoprene, and
Yeah.
it was kind of terrible. So I actually think that because it's so simple and he's accentuating the shape of it, a print did work better for it.
I would have rather
Not
him
this
save
print,
that
but
dress.
the idea of using a print on a simple silhouette, I think is a good idea.
I agree with you, but I don't know what it is, but I just I think we just don't know what we think. Out of all the designs, even us, we're normally always on the same page. But it's just like, because it is the grand finale, you think it's going to be at the highest level we've seen yet.
Right.
But not necessarily. It's
Yeah.
almost like I would rather all the designers having only designed 3 looks instead of 7.
And had more time.
And had more time, and then have those 3 looks, I think, being perfection. Because
I feel like there's a lot of filler.
Yeah.
Or maybe just give him like a week and let him go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like they
Or a
should have
month,
just kept
yeah.
the final 4, you know,
Yeah.
Ken too, and then spent more time as opposed to having a challenge to complete a collection.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we were all kind of like, what is going on?
Well, he won.
What is going on?
All these surprise challenges made my headphones pop off and everything.
Oh, that's right. Just didn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we get to see all of his ladies lined up. They look like they all came from the same place, but I don't know that I want to go there.
Do you know what though? When I look at the photos of all the collections, like that, he actually does look like the most like a collection. Like that,
Right.
it all tells a story. Because when I look at those 3 photos, when you put them all together, I almost instantly go, "He's the winner." But then as I look a little bit more, I wouldn't have named him the winner. But from a distance, when you look at all the 3 collections from a distance, and his almost looks like the one that's got
I
it.
do think the first look is the most, like, how did she end up here?
It wasn't
Yeah.
a good look to start.
No, it wasn't. I think it would have been a better middle look. Kind
Yeah.
of blend in.
It just looks so dark. It's like basically black and white, and the blue is so dark.
I would
It
have
looks like
started with
black.
that solid white
Right,
look
yeah.
for sure. 'Cause
Oh, yes.
everyone liked that. There's nothing not to like about that. Well, Anthony, the big winner, won all the money. All the
100K,
good-
that's good.
All the good stuff gets, like,
Gets to work for Anne, you know, your favourite woman in the world.
to work.
She's like, you get to work
Yes.
for me now.
Yeah, Anne is definitely not on my top of the top.
What is it? Why don't
But-
you like Anne? I'm intermediate with
I
her.
feel like she's like just kind of like a Ann Taylor Loft kind of lady, and I just don't understand why she's supposed to be on the heartbeat of what Teen America wants.
I feel like
It's
she
just
just comes
kind
off as very disingenuous.
I have no idea. Like, if she were to design a collection, I would imagine Ann Taylor. Like, I don't know what she likes from her critiques and stuff. Like, I wouldn't have any idea.
It was interesting because I noticed. It was funny because obviously Anthony won, but I thought I think that she actually liked Stanley's the best.
I think
because
she did too.
She said to Stanley, "Oh
you
wow,"
noticed,
she's like,
yeah.
"Oh my god," she said something like, "I love it. Wow, you've done so well. This is incredible. I'm so impressed."
Yeah.
Whereas with the others, it was congratulations. You know,
Yeah,
you should be so
they're
proud.
there.
Yeah.
But she didn't actually say, "I
Yeah.
love it."
Yeah, I think Stanley would have won if he'd have edited his stuff a little more. I
Same.
think taken off that veil, made sure that collar was like
Yeah,
pinned down.
Poor Stanley. I wanted him to win. He deserved
So
to.
there was a little bit of puckering in the second dress I loved that was just a little bit.
After they added those ribbons, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't sew that very well, and that was her fault.
Can I say Terrence in our live chat says Zach and Anthony should go out on a date?
Yeah!
That would be interesting.
That would be
Could you
really
imagine?
weird. No.
No, I was thinking, sorry, Zach and Stanley. No, that would not work. Zach and Anthony. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, I've always wanted to, like, if you're watching,
No.
Zach
This is a
cooks.
plea.
No, yes,
I don't think he's watching. I know.
I don't think he's listening. No, but Zach is a cook as well, and like,
We know, yeah.
I'm like, Zach, can you cook for us one week?
that would be nice.
I know. I'm like so into that. I've always wanted to mention that he's also like a master chef.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's
Yeah.
just as good in the kitchen as he is in the design room. So please
I
cook
think
for
that
us.
when we look at this show, like years later, we will still think that Stanley's will hold like the test of time. It
Yeah.
didn't really. It was very like.
That red dress
could
will
be
stand the test of time.
Any time, you know, it could be the 80s, it could be the 90s, it could
Totally.
be right now.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
don't know
more
if I'd go back
refined.
farther than 80s, but
Even the 40, like no, that red dress.
There
the
is-
last look.
yeah, the second look with that super short dress, something you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like
was
dresses.
kind of swinging 60s.
I still like that red dress, and I don't know. I know it's simple, but I think that like could have
It's
set
like Ross.
it could have set the tone.
Dress for less.
No.
Take this dress for less.
No, but I think that could have.
Michael.
I think that if that was the starting point of this collection, if that was the beginning, if that was the most simplistic, and it grew from that it could have been this really American Beauty story. Like if that was the first, if that was the starting point, that's where
just
it
think it
began, and then
needed
it
another
like a
color.
swan. No, but like
They just needed more time all together.
That's what it is,
in
yeah.
order for them to get all their
But
stuff.
I think
and-
that you get what I'm saying. If that was the start, if that was like, this is where we're
like,
going to
please
begin,
believe
and then
me,
we're going
Michelle.
to and then we're going to get to the end. Like that was because we usually agree, but just like
Give it to him, Michelle.
just give it to me. No, but I just where is that that America, like that grace, that like.
I get it, but just like it wasn't. I felt like it wasn't even styled. Like it had nothing. There was no necklace. It was no
Yeah, there
belt.
was
It was
nothing
literally
with it,
just
yeah.
like the most basic dress you could like imagine.
Maybe you had like
Or-
a boot that went all the way up where you couldn't see
Just,
a knee or
just some
something. I don't
tiny
know.
detail, even if it was
I
like
like
the hem
simplicity.
or like buttons or whatever. There's just like
Gloves,
literally nothing.
little gloves.
You
Yes,
know?
yes.
Take it back to the 50s.
Well,
Yeah.
we've all got some kind of feeling. How are things going in the chat? What are they saying? Do they have do they think that Stanley was robbed? Do they think Fabio was robbed?
Clink,
They all love Anthony.
Clank Hammer says, and didn't seem to be on the same page as the judges. Terrence says Stanley collection wasn't cool enough. Meg said Anne is a better judge than a mentor. And Olga says
Okay.
Anthony needs to buy Zach Pose and a bouquet of roses and a bottle of wine and thanks. Because a lot of people are
Aw.
saying on our live chat that it's because of Zach. Like,
Oh yeah,
That-
Aw.
I could see that.
Anthony might have won.
He does pull a little bit of weight in the franchise.
But, I mean, I think they all worked really hard for, ending to where they're at.
And I'm sure it was no fun for any of them to hear, like, the second Alyssa walks out, she's like, well, there was a moment when any of you could have won.
Yeah.
Then we just, like, flipped a coin.
But again, it's why we love Alyssa, because we have our moments of pros and cons with Alyssa. But see, at the end, you can tell she's like, I love you, Anthony. And she's genuinely crying.
Yeah.
That empathy. And Georgina's crying as well. She's like, I'm so proud of you. And she actually is proud. Whereas I love Heidi, but Heidi's like, I'm so proud of you. Like, no, you're not. We love you, but you're not thinking about it in a second. You're going home.
Yeah.
God.
But she really cares.
Alyssa
and-
does care.
Alyssa does,
We
yeah.
will
Alyssa
say,
does
we'll give
care.
her that.
But we don't care for her
Makes me
outfit.
feel
Yeah.
All the feels.
all the feels. Yeah, she
Feels,
does.
yes.
Well, before we go, we have a little bit of news that talks about the future
Oh yeah.
of Project Runway and how it hangs in the balance. Mayte, take it away.
Oh Lord. All right. So A&E Networks terminated its Project Runway deal with Weinstein Co. And as many of you know, I hope, right? The whole scandal last year with Harvey Weinstein.
And A&E owns Lifetime.
Right. So A&E Television Networks, the company network, it's part of Lifetime, as you said. So now it's like I guess because of this whole mess with Harvey Weinstein, it's prompted for them to say, hey, you know what, we're terminating your contract. It's pretty much up in the air. We don't know what's going to happen with Project Runway, so it's up for grabs.
Bravo.
And one interesting thing is they are not bound to show the seasons they've already filmed of All Stars, Project Runway Junior, which we know for sure Project Runway Junior, there's already one in the can, so who knows if we're going to get it. I'm hoping maybe Bravo will step back up and pull it back.
On Netflix.
But didn't Netflix would be
great.
Netflix would be cool, yeah. I reckon Netflix, yeah.
They just picked up Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I want to be the Queer Eye.
I think if they do...
But they just held auditions, I feel like, for Project Runway, didn't
did.
they?
I know, and they're not
In April.
bound. They
Yeah.
don't have to show those. They can just throw them away. And if I were a designer and I won that challenge...
Oh,
yeah.
I'd be so
Oh,
devastated.
But you guys, you're just going to have to keep up with it because we're out of here. It's the end of our season. It's been so much fun. Every Thursday night with you guys. Don't cry, Mayte. Instead of crying, save your tears and tell them where they can find you on the interwebs.
You guys can find me everywhere. I'm like, you guys can find me everywhere at Mayte Carrillo _
And you can find me on the Instagram and all that at Dan Babic, all of that. And I just wanted to say, I feel like today was a really good conversation because we all had such different opinions.
It was
It
a lot
so
of
good. So a
fun.
great way to end it. And I love you guys so much.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Uberreste, and my website is michelleUberreste.com.
And you guys can find me at Michael Shirley on Instagram, Twitter. Check out my upcoming clothing line. There's previews on Instagram, and it should launch in June. I love
I
MichaelShirley.com.
want your Hollywood top. I saw the Hollywood top. I want that. I'm buying your Hollywood top.
It's some good stuff, you guys.
Yeah. I
want those
All right,
sweats.
so
Yeah.
keep watching us. Keep the conversation going. We're still gonna be around not just because the after show is over doesn't mean we don't exist anymore. We're still here. Follow, like, subscribe, iTunes, YouTube, all of it. So until next time, we will see you guys later.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos,
Views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.